Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the 720 Drop Lab. I'm back in the garage and you guessed it, I am back on the 720. Today, let's finish up our conversation about ground effects, rear skirt edition. So, a lot of guys want to know how I went from this to this to this. Let's talk about it. In this video, we will only be covering the techniques I use to create the rear skirt. Not the products, just the techniques. If you want to list the products, you can go back to my side skirt video where I tell you what all the products are that you're going to need. When we actually made our side skirts, we made 3 side skirts. Remember, they were all 7 feet long. One was for the driver's side, one was for the passenger side, and the other one was going to be used for the rear. At the time when I made it, I didn't know exactly how I was going to use it, but I knew I needed it. So what I did is I took that third side skirt and I had to cut 2 27-inch pieces out of it. One for the driver's side and one for the passenger side. Now this is going to be behind the driver and passenger rear tire. Once I had those 2 27-inch pieces, I know that I wanted them to narrow. I didn't want it to stay the same length as it went around. I wanted it to get narrower as it got closer to the tail light. So in order to do that, what I did is I notched the piece out. Basically, I cut a V out of it. Right here is kind of where you can see my illustration. Right here, this section of the skirt was 1 3/4 inches and it narrowed down to 1 1/8 inches, and actually it would go the other way. So this would be 1 3/4 inches and it would narrow down where you cut the larger portion out. So once you cut it, I put it back together, I bonded it. Once it was bonded, then you needed to notch it. Because remember, the Nissan has a slight fender flare around all of the tires. So I actually needed to notch out here so it sat flat against the truck. Once I got it notched out and it fit the way I wanted it, I needed to hot glue it to the truck. And the hot glue can come off with alcohol. It's very easy, but just hot glue it to the truck in the orientation that you want it. Once it's in the orientation you want it and it's mounted where you want it, what I needed to do was mount it. So I had these L-shaped aluminum pieces that I got from Home Depot. I just cut a notch out of it and I bent it at an angle, and I also picked up these flat strap pieces also. So I was able to go across just like this and use some, rivets to hold it together. And then down here, I put a threaded insert. And then under your truck, you can find several locations to put a nut and a bolt under there to mount it. So if under there, it's kind of like this. And then there's a bolt in the bottom that actually holds it. But once you have it mounted, you can take the glue off. And once you determined the new dimensions for the side, because on the side skirt video I gave you dimensions, so the only thing would change is this. So what I did is I went back to my table saw and I made a new plug for the new size, and then I made a mold for that. So this is once you drop it down, this will be the new size, right? Because you can see that this is smaller. So I had to make one for the left and I had to make one for the right. And I actually wanted them to terminate in a 45. So each one of them has a 45. It's flat on this side and it has a 45 on this side. So once you make these 2 parts, what you're going to need to do is you're going to have to bring these molds back out and you're going to have to make another piece just in this flat corner. Not the side that's 45, but the flat side. You need a piece probably about 4 inches here. You don't have to make the whole part, just this little section. And the one you make for the left is going to go on the right, and the one you make for the right is going to left. But we're going to get to that later. Now the third part I had to make was what I'm going to call an overlay. So I have a roll pan on my truck. I didn't want to take the roll pan out and fiberglass that whole section in. I just wanted to keep the roll pan and try to figure a way to get these pieces to be on the roll pan. So I decided to use an overlay technique. I took the roll pan off, I put some protective film on it, then I laid down my mold release, I laid down my gel coat, and of course my fiberglass. I want to think I did 3 layers of fiberglass, let that cure, I took it off. Then I shaved it down to the shape I wanted it, because it was bigger than I wanted it to be, so I shaved it down to a nice shape. And then I drilled holes in it based on how the roll pan mounted. So then when I put the roll pan up and I put that piece up there, I could just mount it all as one. So then I took the pieces that I made from these smaller molds, put them in line with those side pieces that I added from the back, put them in line, and then I actually hot glued them to the overlay. Once I was satisfied with that, I took it off. I bonded them together with fiberglass, down inside. I bonded them together, took the hot glue off, bonded them together at the top. Then those two small pieces that you made are actually going to go here, pretty much under the tail light. So I drilled holes here, bolted those pieces together under the tail light. You have to trim it a little bit so it fits up there. And then all I was left to do was make the corners where it rounded out, round around the corners. So to do that, I took some 3-liter bottles, 3-liter Coke bottles, and I cut them so it lays flat. And I actually glued it across the two pieces where there was nothing at. And same thing, I mixed up fiberglass. And then I used this chopped fibers into the fiberglass and dabbed it in there, let it cure. You had to keep going up, then move up, add another piece, move up, until I had it filled in, and then I was able to take it off the truck. Now, once I bonded it together, or fiberglassed it together, it would come off as one piece with the whole corner. And then I was able to add more to the back. I was able to go into the front and use Bondo glass. I think it's the Bondo with the fiberglass and the chopped fibers in it. It's like a green. So I was able to use that on the outside. And then of course come back with body filler, high build primer, and then it was done. So once you've got all that done, right behind the tires, this is still going to be open. And in my side skirt video and my air dam video, I told you how to close this. I basically took that stuff, I think they call it like plastic cardboard, and you cut a piece, and then you're gonna put down your mold release, you're gonna put down your gel coat, you're gonna put down your fiberglass mat. I think I used like 3 sheets, and then I just took the part and I laid it in the fiberglass and I let that cure. So it like bonded to this. And of course I came back and added some more fiberglass so it was bonded to it. Then I was able to have a place to drill a hole and mount it inside of the fender. And of course after that, it was just body work. But we got it taken care of, it's done. I think it looks good. You guys let me know what you think of it down in the comments. That does it for this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It's really gonna help the channel grow. If you've got any questions, post them below. I'll do my best to answer it. So until next time. Think your system can rock